Thank you very much, Alex. What a game we have in store here again. We've got all the Swedes in front of the Swedish crowd.
Yeah.
How's it going, Malmö? How you doing? Pretty good again.
This is going to be excellent. This is going to be a really wild ride. Always interested to see how much support GODSENT's going to get from the crowd, but all Swedes, I know everyone's just hoping for just a sick match between these two teams.
Absolutely, and I think it was a pretty huge idea there, or concept to just ban cash out, because NIP have looked pretty much unstoppable so far, and it's pretty much a free map. And I was curious, like, when are teams going to start getting rid of this against them?
Well, it's starting now. I mean, obviously, and this is the thing as well. GODSENT's still a very new team, so this is one of the advantages that NIP has is a deeper map pool. So you could see they took a little bit of a gamble, or not a gamble, but they banned Inferno. They make sure that GODSENT can't play on that. So that's a little bit of the mind games that came in, because you could tell with that how that worked out, that GODSENT kind of probably wanted to play that. I mean, picking Train, a map that NIP just beat Virtus Pro on last night, beat Astralis on earlier in the tournament, so they've shown some strength on this map.
They certainly have. Cobblestone, Train, I think Janko was touching on this earlier today when he said that the T sides have been pretty solid for NIP, so you'd expect more of the same here from Cobblestone. And speaking of which, we are live into the matchup on Cobblestone. Nip starting on the T side, and Lekro is going to pick up the first frag as the charge comes in. But look at this setup. The crossfire's on point, and it's just lambs to the slaughter as GODSENT, wrecking Nip. What can you do about that?
What an opening from GODSENT, a 6 strat. That crossfire works perfectly. They bait him right into it, and you could see they're all laughing. I mean, that opening shot from Lekro is perfect, but that retreat, that calculated retreat brings him in, and everyone from NIP falls. Palf and Pronax combining for so much. Interesting, Lekro was actually here earlier. There's been a lot of focus on him as one of the newer players, just grinding FPL, all waiting for this matchup.
Yeah, a lot of dedication shown at GODSENT. We're very happy to get to the semis, but they want to go even further. They want to play against Na'Vi in the finals. Na'Vi themselves have looked pretty ridiculous, destroying Envious, who only picked up 9 rounds in that first semi-final. But can GODSENT rinse and repeat? Lekro was the quintessential bait man there, just pulling back into the crossfire. It was pretty awesome to watch. Either way, NIP looking to split up across the map. 2 players pushing long, bomb still in mid. And you do have a player just lurking outside a drop zone. Going to try and play the bait again.
Oh, counter aggression from GODSENT. Palf gets the first kill. Here's Schneider. He goes to take a duel. He's got the MP7. There's 3 members here from NIP. That's a good kill. Schneider's teammate had fallen back into the A bomb site, but that's a lot of intel. You could see the rotation coming in from GODSENT. They know the numbers of NIP that's there, so NIP is going to play this a little bit slower. The bomb even falls back towards the B bomb site, so the 4 remaining members of NIP, they split up at the moment.
They do MP9 in the hands of Freiburg, who also has the Kevlar, plus the incendiary grenade. So NIP still have time to play with here, but it's going to tick down very quickly if they're not careful. Again, running with a lone lurker over on long, maybe going to try and wrap himself around. That's going to be Forrest with the P250, trying to make some noise. There's 2 players are pushing around the back of NIP, though. They need to be careful here. Forrest going to get confrontation. There is information right now. The CT's going to bite onto this one. One of those flankers is going to turn back onto the A site. This allows NIP now to charge out onto the site. 3 players strong. Palf is going to watch the cross. There's the first frag. He gets traded out, though. And here we go. Pronax from behind, who was moving in the last 10-15 seconds, is rewarded.
This is going to be the big danger for NIP, is these mid-round reads from Pronax. We saw how effective they were yesterday. Very easily that can happen again, and right now this is a couple rounds that have gone strategically straight for GODSENT. The stack in the first round, now they read it perfectly. The counter aggression over towards A gives them a quick flank. No armor bought up for NIP, no investment into this round. So GODSENT off to a good start.
Very good start indeed. Not too many casualties either. So they're going to be running another 3 SMGs into this round for the farm. You can see a full-on eco over than Pitt's P250. And a charge up mid. Just going to see if they can get a couple of cheeky frags away from GODSENT. Not looking too good, but there's Pitt's P250 doing work. Lock's not going to get anything done. Meanwhile, from Get Right, and that leaves Freiburg again just hiding in the corner, hoping for the best. He gets found out. An easy, comfortable 3 rounds for GODSENT.
And now we go into the gun round. There's a lot of actual, I mean, you could see there's going to be a lot of, not only this matchup between these 2 teams is going to be intense, but there's a lot of pride between just the players. These are like the young stars of Sweden right now that NIP's going against, the old guard against the new. Schneider's going to have that AWP. He's been very, very efficient with it throughout this entire tournament. Very effective. He's going to take that out towards the long A halls. He's going to go for some quick information, maybe a quick pick, but he just decides to hold the angle here. that's a good decision. You can see all the counter nades, all the preventative nades from NIP raining out Molotovs to force him away if he was going to get aggressive.
Yeah, we have already seen what he's capable of doing with the AWP on overpass. I believe it was the two of us that were casting that game. So many retakes with the AWP on the CT side. Let's see if he can stave off the initial charge of NIP, who again look to push towards the A site. But again, so much time to play with. 2 smokes, 2 flashes in the hands of Nip.
Yeah, except they've run out of Molotovs. This position from Lekro. Normally, if it's a full kit for NIP, they'd be able to clear this out with nades or Molotovs. Try and find a way to get a pick, but just ensure that they don't have to clear that angle without that. If Schneider can play a proper bait here, then Lekro's gonna have a feast. A couple easy kills would come his way. But still, NIP not willing to execute quite yet. They only have 2 smokes. Those are gonna have to be used very, very wisely.
Certainly will. Pitt's gonna get caught up in the boost. And now in danger. Exist is gonna answer back with an AK. Frag is a pretty important one, but he's down to 5 health. So probably not gonna be able to get too much more done out of this round. Still 2 players from GODSENT lurking on the B side. Pronax pushes, will be rewarded there. Schneider with the aforementioned AWP doing work. The bomb's dropped out in no man's land. Misses the second time of asking. You fancy him to get this kill, actually decides to back away. Pronax has his back. And another convincing round from GODSENT, as it appears it's gonna go 4-0. Freiburg only has 20 seconds to play with.
Yeah, they used a lot of utility to get into the position to execute out of the A site, so once they actually found their way there, they had nothing to do to actually, prevent the AWP from ringing out. Schneider was able to get a good kill. Pronax with some counter aggression, pushing up right after his teammate falls. So it's gonna be a 4th round for GODSENT. Freiburg's able to keep the AK-47, but this is a good start from a young team.
It certainly is. NIP back to the drawing board for them. Economy not going to be looking too fantastic. They do have the round loss bonus coming in thick and fast, though.
It's up to 4, so that will help build up to some of their money. And with this AK-47, they do have a small investment into this round. They do get some light armor, some light pistols, a couple flashbangs to use as well. And actually, look at the counter boost. Schneider now switching up his position. He was at A last round, so he misses the shot initially. Pitt's lucky to get away with that one, and Schneider falls away. That's going to have NIP guessing moving forward. If Schneider's going to be this mobile with the AWP, it's going to be very, very tricky for NIP to find out where he's playing.
That's the unpredictability that you love to see from AWPers. Meanwhile, Powerf is going to lock it down on the platform. Pitt will answer back in kind, though. Solid trade out thus far. AK thrown across to Exist because Pitt is so low on health. NIP have got the return kill, but with 2 players pretty low and a distinct lack of utility to play with, it's not looking good. Why do they hope to push him? I suppose drop zone is maybe an option, but it's so sketchy.
Yeah, one small mistake from GODSENT. They used 2 smokes previously at the same exact time on the same location, which is over here towards the B platform. So there's 50 seconds left. They just used the last smoke they have in their arsenal. That might bite them. I mean, they still have a huge advantage in terms of the guns they're bringing to this party, but there's the pop flash and the drop. No one's been found out quite yet. It's a very passive hold of drop, but Schneider with this AWP, he's the insurance policy. Actually, Palf doesn't even let him get into the action. 3 kills. He can go for a 4th as well. Freiburg is the last one left.
Palf's actually on for his ace. He got the first kill, and he isn't going to get it. Gets denied from Schneider, but he's not going to care. A solid round from GODSENT, who now move to 5-0. And these rounds as well have been very one-sided. It's not a case of NIP taking them down to the wire.
Yeah, this has been a dominant start for GODSENT ever since the pistol round, which, I mean, when you get outplayed that hard in the opening round of the match, that can mess with you a little bit. So NIP's going to have to get started. They have the full losing bonus now, but you can see Freiburg saved an AK, so he didn't get the bonus money last round. He's stuck on a Tech 9. Still no AWP out for the NIP side. Oh, and this is the execution we saw at the Major. It's going to feel like a fake, and actually NIP can choose whether it is an actual fake or if they decide to go with it to the B bomb site, and here, they're just going to hit B.
Palf mixing it up, though. This time he's not on the platform. He's just dropped down, does a lot of damage through the smoke. Gonna get right is so low, gets picked off from Pronax. Palf now caught in 2 minds. Does he stay or go? Ends up getting fragged regardless. Twist with the spray. Maybe should have done better from that. But Schneider again steps up tall for his team with 2 huge AWP kills. Bomb has been planted. NIP have a chance. It's been their best opportunity thus far on their T side. Pitt and Exist on 25 health, though. Pitt's gonna have to make some big plays. There's the first one. Pronax goes down. Pitt's on the prowl for more. Has spotted a second. It's not gonna happen. Exist now from the chicken coop will deliver the fatal blow to Schneider. 1 versus 1, and Pitt alongside Exist can't get the clutch. It's going to be 6-0 now.
Yeah, just barely misses that last kill. The mobility with that P90 bails Lekro out. Pit does everything he can, everything he could, but it doesn't work out for him in the end. But they do good damage. They get 4 guns out of the hands of GODSENT, so that's gonna force a lot of rebuys, break into that bank just a little bit. And then NIP, I mean, they still have the full losing bonus now. They have the plant bonus on top of it, so another strong buy coming out. Still no AWP, but plenty of money built up for GODSENT.
Let's see if NIP can finally pull the trigger and convert one of these rounds, because it's getting into scary territory right now. Still a lot of time to play with, though. Only the 7th round. But it's been more the way that these rounds have been going against the Moses that would worry me if you're in Threat's shoes right now. Palf, again relocating to a different position, this time behind the statue, but he's going to get found out from Get Right. That's a big entry frag, and with the smokes descending onto the site, nothing can be witnessed from GODSENT as they look to try and charge in through this. The flash comes through. It's going to be down to Twist. He pushes right through on towards Chicken Coop, but Get Right's going to get his second. And the positions now from NIP, very solid. So GODSENT just going to tap out of this round. There's absolutely no hope.
Yeah, good call to concede, though. They have nothing to get back into that. Plenty of money built up, but no reason to throw these 3 guns away. So NIP finally get on the board, and this is who you'd expect to step up. Get Right. When you hit a wall like this, when you're down 0-6, you need your stars to perform, and he has 2 crucial kills. At least GODSENT, they still have the AWP on the next round, and that's been a huge factor in this matchup. Snyder on the rotation has been very effective, opening things up as well. That's a weapon that NIP is going to have to displace at some point.
All 3 weapons will get saved, though.
Well, that's what scared Henry earlier, so now we get the same treatment.
I actually saw you nearly jump out your chair.
You know, it happens.
I wasn't expecting it either, to be fair. NIP finally on the scoreboard. Can they get the momentum? No, we always talk about this. It's all well and good winning 1 round. Can you string them together?
Now, at least, I mean, the crowds obviously wants to see it. But at least they had all 5 members survive in the last round, so even if they lose this, they'll have a decent amount of money built up. Look at Schneider. He's going to be aggressive right through the smoke. He pop flashes as well. This could be a little tricky, but Pronax starts things off. 3 members of GODSENT over towards this B site. And they're still going to maintain aggression on this B platform. It's a double op setup now, so Twist is in position. They have the extremities covered by the AWPs. And NIP with a man-down situation, this is going to be very, very difficult for them to handle.
Yeah, plus on Freiburg, who's one of those players you're looking to explode out onto the site and get those entries. And it's going to make things that much more difficult. GODSENT did eat a bit of damage themselves on Pronax, but he's going to be A-OK up in the boost. This is a good position as well, and smoking that out makes it harder for the terrorists to actually force their way through. So he's keeping them at bay. That's information. He heard multiple footsteps.
Smart play from Pronax as well. We see it a lot that they don't do this. With a man advantage, Pronax doesn't commit to a fight there. No reason to give up your life. He just falls away, but it's Palf who almost eats it. Get Right. Through the smoke brings him down to 2 HP. That would have been an amazing kill. That would have been so nice for NIP to have. And he's going to remain on the platform, still aggressive at NIP. They haven't quite committed yet, but all 4 members are going to be over towards this B platform.
This in a nutshell is why Palf has relocated time and time again, because these are spots that you expect the terrorist to pre-fire. And he's down to 2, as you can see, but he's actually going to be waiting up on them. There's a boost on the tree. Pronax has put himself up there. And Pit is going to come through onto Palf. Here comes Pronax again, though. 18 seconds to play with. Twist also breaks his deadlock. Oh, how does Pit get that kill? It should never be happening. And he's hungry for more, but time itself was ticking against him. 7-1. And Nip, after resetting their round loss bonus, are going to concede the round.
Yeah, this is not looking great for NIP. And this is the thing as well. I mean, with the time running out, with that man disadvantage in that previous round, you could see GODSENT had such a good read on that. They had 4 members over at that B bomb site once the execute comes in, and NIP running out of utility and running out of time as well. That essentially became a 5th player or 6th player for GODSENT. It was really nothing NIP could do to maintain that take on the bomb site. Schneider again. This wasn't spotted last time, so he's going to go for it. It works. The flashbang is perfect. He gets counterblind. Now he's got to get away, and that smoke is going to hold off Pit. There's Get Right again towards this B bomb site, doing wonders for his team.
Gotta say, so far, Get Right has been really the only shining light of NIP. These kills have been massive, and there's another one. And he's not done just yet. 3rd kill for Get Right. Turning this round in NIP's favor. Switches to the AWP. He did get that shot onto Schneider. Partially through the wall in the leg. 31 HP left for him. But if Nip can't convert from here, Get Right is going to be face-palming hard. They've got to get this round.
Yeah, what a beautiful round from Get Right. That is sick stuff. All on his own as well. That's a one-man army. And you could see that, you could hear it probably. The crowd just wanted to explode off that 4th kill on Schneider, but the leg shot comes out. And again, GODSENT is just forced to concede the round. No reason to even challenge for this. So they have money still built up. They're gonna bring 2 guns moving forward. And it's gonna be all on NIP again to make sure that they can start stringing these together. Eventually, I mean, this looks dire now at a 7-1 scoreline. If NIP's able to eventually break the money of GODSENT, if they're able to finally do it, they can close the gap against just pistols. We've seen how effective their anti-ecos have been in this tournament.
Absolutely, yeah. The worrying sign for me for NIP, though, is typically whenever we cast them, Moses, their T sides have been far better than their CT sides. Against VP, they very nearly let a couple of massive half slip away from them, so I do worry a little bit. Obviously, Cobblestone is a whole different beast.
Virtus Pro's a whole different beast.
That's
Didn't scare me that time.
You were waiting for it. The anticipation was killing you.
But there's the man, Get Right. He's been the shining star of NIP so far into this game. Someone's gonna have to step up next to him if they want to string these together, but this was just so beautiful. The first kill, Pop flashes himself out. Almost gets dropped by Twist. That's a missed opportunity, but this recovery here, he gets dinked initially, but finds it anyways. Teaching the young guns the lesson here.
Even in slow motion, that was lightning fast. That 3rd kill was very impressive indeed. Here comes the boost again, and Pronax will reap the rewards. NIP have failed to get 2 consecutive rounds. That has to change right here, right now. And again, the first kill goes very briskly across the GODSENT.
Yeah, same situation last time. They're gonna have to play this round with a man down, and it's Get Right, the only one who's been doing much of anything to enter into bomb sites. Early on in these rounds, it's been all Get Right. No one else from NIP contributing to their progress, but there's Forrest. Gets a nice pick, gets a second one as well. Huge plays from the other star of NIP. 2 op kills for him. And this is gonna spread the defense out. You can see Lekro has gotten close up. He's gotten aggressive towards these double doors. NIP's gonna have to be very, very careful how they cross over. But still, 1 player in drop for GODSENT, 1 at the B platform and 1 at A. This NIP roster, they have a minute to work with Threat. He has a minute to figure out what to do, and there it is. Lekro finds Pit, gets him caught off guard with that aggression.
Schneider holding the angle, just waiting for someone to peek, and saw the barrel of the gun sticking through. Forrest is the dead man. 40 seconds left. That smoke will keep the terrorists at bay for now. They have decision still. It looks like drop zone is the initial response. Exist looking for that frag. You need to be so careful they don't drop into a trap here. Palf's going to be watching the angle. He's been playing very well so far for GODSENT. Gonna pop flash and have a quick peek. Actually decides to back away, maybe just hoping to play the time instead. And meanwhile, Exist is going to pop out the window. Gets himself the kill in a second as well. A big moment for Palf. And he doesn't deliver. So now Lekro has this 1v2 retake. Exist is very low. This is still doable from Lekro. Only downside for him is he's got no utility to burst back on the site with. He'd love to have a flash. He'd love to have an incendiary at this point. And good positions taken from NIP as well. Exist is going to be using the close angle. And there we go, lands the headshot. So in the last couple rounds, we've seen Get Right step up. Exist has got a 3-man, and Forrest with huge opening picks with the AWP.
Yeah,
much better for Nip.
It is all Exist. They're recovering that round so nicely from being down 4-on-5, and then that turning in from a 4-on-2 to a 4-on-3 into a 2-on-3. That's really good stuff. So Exist comes alive also. That's going to help close the gap a little bit, and now they've finally done it. They've finally broken the money, so the pressure abates a little bit here. They get to go against pistols, light armor. It's only Lekro who's bought any. He has the Deagle, which has been a force of its own in this event so far. But these rounds for NIP really haven't been too much of an issue throughout the event, so you'd imagine this is going to get up to that 7-4 scoreline. Lekro eating a lot of spam at the moment. And now you can see with a superior arsenal, it's NIP who can hold these angles, wait for aggression.
And this is typically where NIP shine, as Janko said earlier, one of the best teams, if not the best anti-ecos in the entire world, and we'll be looking to convert yet another one. And in fairness, GODSENT are trying to mix things up, playing aggressively, but that's just to be walking right into Pit's crosshair. And he will not miss out on that opportunity. Looking good for NIP here, minute left to play with Bomb. We'll be transitioning across to the B site, where there is only Pronax, I believe that is, hiding in drop zone.
Yeah, and he's got nothing to do. This is going to be a plant. Smokes are going to come out. All NIP really has to worry about is making sure that GODSENT cannot set up for some exit kills. There it is, Forrest and Exist each get one of their own, so it's gonna be 4-7 for NIP. No chance at Lekro and Twist getting back into this. They could find a couple kills, but Pit watching the flank. Oh! There it is. What a shot.
Get dunked. Pit didn't know what hit him there. Just as you were saying as well, the Deagle has been a force of its own in this entire tournament. The drive-by headshot is real. AK would do a lot of good actually for GODSENT going through into the next round. Would bolster their buy up significantly. Oh, Lekro with a second. And he's going to be able to get his hands on the AK. It's a nice turn of events from GODSENT, who really weren't expecting to get much out of this round.
I mean, this is huge. This is now $6,000 this team doesn't have to spend in the next round, so this is absolutely massive for GODSENT. The best possible outcome of that eco round they could have gotten at that point. So a little bit of a blunder for NIP. And Lekro, I mean, those headshots I talked about right before this started. Lekro was here earlier on today, way earlier before this match started, warming up, death matching, playing games, preparing. And you can see those shots there are very impressive.
Well, here we go. GODSENT now have another buy. NIP have been making somewhat of a resurgence, but it's got to keep going forward. 4 rounds still not what they were hoping for. And GODSENT playing aggressively on Schneider, who looks to land the shot, maybe getting a bit too predictable. Freiberg and Pit both chime in to take him down. That's a big, big kill to get right off the bat for NIP, who've pretty much consistently been getting wrecked themselves first.
That's aggression from Schneider that's not necessary. He's done that about three rounds now. That's the 3rd round he's done it, and they spotted him out the last time. This time they actually punished him. He was able to get away once before. But you can't keep that up against a team like NIP. They're going to notice that tendency. Palf now has got a timer on it. Oh, he sees the jumping. He sees the boost coming in. Doesn't do too much damage, but does spam through the smoke. Brings Exist down to 78. Now he could fall back and just smoke it off. And more aggression from GODSENT. Pronax is going to be forced away, but he actually falls to Freiberg. 2 kills in the round so far for Freiberg.
Much better for NIP. 50 seconds left, looking to rotate onto the B site where Palf is waiting. But again, GODSENT may be in a position, if Palf falls and this bomb gets planted, of just saving, because their economy really isn't starting to get back to scratch.
Yeah, and this has just been NIP has just picked them apart. These opening 2 kills, you can see how much weaker this defense is. It's so much more passive. There's no one to challenge directly at platform. Palf just now gets towards Statue. The 2 other teammates are here, Lekro and Twist. But what can they do? Lekro gets 2 kills. Oh, Lekro gets a 3rd and Twist as well. This collapses. What a rotation from GODSENT. 3 on 5, and they obliterate everything that NIP has to offer.
So there's me thinking they're going to stick on A. Palf's going to get killed. Easy round for NIP. Nope. Jeez.
That's unreal. The young gun really shows up in that round.
Absolutely ridiculous. The crossfire down onto platform as NIP walks single file into death. We'll have AKs and a solid amount of grenades as well, but that's going to sting. There's a 5 versus 3 they just let slip, and Lekro's opened up. He will go down from Freiberg, who's hungry for that 2nd kill. It was Schneider who was darting across.
Yeah, you can see Freiberg was even pre-fired that. He knows there's been aggression there from Schneider, so he's working on getting that. And there it is, flash out, more aggression from GODSENT, but it's traded off nicely by Pit. Although there it is, Schneider gets even more aggressive and pushes all the way out.
That's so smart from Schneider, realizing that it's very unlikely someone will be still watching long after the confrontation went down. A free frag for him. I was going to originally say a 2-1-2 trade probably favors NIP because they can then split up the CTs, so that was such a big kill for Schneider. Get right now. Again, trying to channel his 1-man army. First kill goes down for him. 2-on-2 now. Bomb coming through onto the B site, but we've seen this before from GODSENT. They've held this down. Schneider and Palf are alive. Make that just Palf. What can he get done? He does have a fair amount of grenades under his belt, but he's going to get a headshot from Get Right as soon as he peeks. Solid round from NIP.
Get Right showed up to play today. That is sick. That's his biggest strength, is that game sense, that ability of him by himself to essentially lurk into that bomb site and then just get aggressive when he knows he has the feeling that everyone's rotated away. And he finds the good angles, he gets aggressive when he needs to, and he covers his teammate. It's beautifully done. Get Right single-handedly responsible for 3 rounds that NIP has won.
Absolutely. And again, you can see the effect that has on GODSENT's economy. They're down to upgraded pistols, and that's it. Without Get Right, you do wonder how this score would look. NIP would be absolutely brutalized at this point. As it stands, though, they have a real fighting chance to get themselves back into this round, but GODSENT have proved to be difficult to take down in similar positions as this. Going for the peak, Exist is going to pick up the first kill. alleviate some of the pressure. And our path goes peeking, does land a headshot. It's just a USP though. So negligible damage overall, and he does have a teammate there with him, so gonna be trying to boost on up. Right into Forest AK.
Some decent damage dealt though. Forest, Get Right, and Exist all pretty low, all things considered, so they've got to be a little bit careful. Valve's turn now, and Exist covering his teammate well. NIP is just sitting back and letting GODSENT in this eco round just walk right into their crosshairs. It's worked perfectly.
They've got Schneider, who's toying with the idea of trying to get round the back of NIP. As you can see here, just watching the close angle on the doors and mid. Twist by himself, gets flashbang, can't see anything. For a second, with 3 players so low, you thought maybe he'd pull off a hero play, but the strength in numbers from NIP, and this will be their 6th round.
Yeah, the bomb is going to get planted. There's nothing that Schneider can do here. So it is going to be that 6th NIP trying to get 7. I mean, there's going to be 1 round left in this half, 1 last buy for GODSENT, and with the money the way it is, I'm not sure they'll be able to have an AWP on board. Highly doubtful.
Look at Lekro's score, 15 for 5.
He's been playing so well, and they mentioned in the interview there, I'm very impressed with how young he is. This is his first big event, comes in, he's been playing fantastic. He was one of the big reasons that a siding map yesterday in their series that he had over 30 kills in it, so he's been a fantastic find for Pronax and then the rest of GODSENT.
NIP managed to hold on for another round. Here we go. Threat.
Doesn't look concerned.
Well, he was very emotional yesterday. You saw the relief.
Sighs of relief when they finally would win rounds under that onslaught of Virtus Pro. Here it's been a little bit easier, but so Twist is able to get an AWP out. He's on light armor and he only has 1 flashbang behind it, so putting a lot of emphasis on that. That's a big investment into this round. They're coming quick towards the B bomb site as well. He is boosted up though. And NIP's blind, he hits the first shot. That's Get Right. That's a big player to be out of the game this early in the round.
Looking for those pre-fire shots through the smoke as well, as heavily flashed. Can't see a single thing, has to get himself off platform. And now he's surrounded behind enemy lines, it would appear. He's got players up on platform to his right and his left-hand side. He's gonna try and hold this one down. He's done such a good job so far. And a 2nd kill for Twist. Very nearly jumped no-scoping the 3rd. And now NIP return the favor as Pick comes in for 3 huge kills. Back onto the site. Schneider in the last round, no reason to save. He's gonna be going in for this, but absolutely no hope of clutching this, surely.
Yeah, there's really not too much Schneider can do. You could see Twist there trying to make something happen. Was caught out in the open though. Schneider's got to speed things up, and now he's brought down so low. Does get 1 kill, down to a 1-on-2, but Freiberg's there to finish it. And that's the first half gone, 7-8 NIP. It's a good comeback after they went down initially 6-1.
I think it was 6 or 7-1,
Yep.
yeah. So they're really up against it. 8-7, a respectable half. I think GODSENT will be very disappointed with that, though. They could have easily got to double digits or even better. So they haven't managed to get rid of Nip just yet. Now the role's reversed, though. Nip on the CT side. Let's see if they can fight against their countrymen.
And you mentioned it, this has been, the terror sites for NIP have normally been stronger throughout this event, so the CT side is going to be a little bit of a struggle for them. It'll be interesting to see what GODSENT can bring to this, because now it's where... That's pretty good. That's a pretty good sign. We were laughing earlier, I believe it was someone in the green room was saying that Sweden's sign-making skills were a little bit lax, but that was a good one right there.
No, there was one that actually made me cringe pretty hard. It was like, trap the mouse or something?
Yes, that was the one.
I think that triggered Thorin a little bit as well. He wasn't too happy about that.
Well, there he is, Threat, the man who is behind that T-set, the man who's been behind this entire transformation out of NIP. It's been a ridiculous change in how they play this game, and it's been so very effective. And they talked a lot. Threat mentioned in the post-game interview, for whatever you want to take from this, because it's usually not a big indicator, but GODSENT has been very, very tough for them to beat in practice games. They've played against them multiple times, and it's always been a difficult match. Both teams identical in pistol rounds throughout this tournament so far.
Yeah, really nothing to distinguish between the two of them. Forrest is maybe going to get caught out, and whereas we saw Lekro do huge damage. A lot of work from that similar position. Forrest can't get it done. Now it's up to Get Right, one of the star players today for Nip, as indeed he normally is. He's going to be falling back, is somehow still in this fight, but his teammate on the site has fallen, as does he. Great for GODSENT, but the bomb has actually dropped in Murder Hole. This is a bit worrying now. And then on 2-on-3 and Exist picking up a kill. This is now doable for NIP. It's not going to be easy, but there's Pit landing the headshot. And look where this bomb is. It couldn't be in a worse position.
Yeah, this is a nightmare. This bomb down has changed the game. GODSENT had a huge advantage in this. It was a 5-on-2 before that bomb falls. And now it's going to be so difficult to recover. Exist just spotting time of the door. Pit is waiting right at the murder hole. And Pronax is going to challenge. Pit sees that shadow, though. So he's prepared for this. Damage is dealt. Pronax is able to get away, though, so the bomb is gathered. But now there's an opportunity to stop him from getting into the site. 30 seconds left. Pit's going to jump out, and he misses the kill. Lekro for that. Exist brings it into a one-on-one, and he's going to challenge even more.
Exist dropping down. Can he get the headshot? It's such a rough foul, but he does get it. And NIP dodged yet another bullet. But that was really Pit there.
Yeah, Pit was a huge factor, dropping the bomb initially and then playing it smart. Falling right back through the hole and just staying alive in this battle. It's not pretty whatsoever, but Exist gets the job done.
With 3 health as well, Moses.
So 8-8, it's all tied up. Both teams win their CT side pistol round.
So brutal for GODSENT. They get the opening 2 or 3 kills. They're looking good, then the bomb drops. Honestly, one of the worst positions possible. And from there on in, NIP managed to claw it back. That's going to hurt GODSENT, but Pronax is a veteran. He's going to be able to bounce back from that. Will the rest of his team follow him, though? A hybrid buy-up from NIP. Mag 7, couple of SMGs, couple of assault rifles. More than enough to deal with pistols, but there are a lot of Deagles in play, 4 to be exact. And we've already seen what Lekro is capable of doing with the weapon.
Yeah, they're going to play this one a little bit slow, though, waiting for the teams all going to start grouping up now towards the A bomb site. They spotted out and they made sure there was going to be no aggression towards B, no boost over, no platform aggression, and here they come through the double doors in a connector. Pronax leading the way with the P250. And this range at the A bomb site is exactly what they want from the Deagles. But Freiberg with the UMP wins the first battle. Now the next challenge, that's a monster nade, does massive damage to Schneider, Lekro, and Twist. Should be much easier for them to clean up now. No headshots needed, just the body shots are gonna do it. Although Twist gets his own, Get Right does fall. That was the shotgun, but the rest of NIP is holding strong.
Yeah, I was about to say that every kill that goes down into NIP is economy that just evaporates, but looking to resurge themselves back into this round is looking a bit sketchy for a couple of moments. Now GODSENT pushing onto the site. They will meet Exist's M4, which leave Twist and his Deagle and the bomb, in fairness, with it all to do. Can he take any weapons down? No, he can't. Exist is there, and NIP take the lead, 9-8.
This anti-eco should be a little bit easier for him.
All right, mate.
More of that, of course.
The rallying cry for NIP.
But this is gonna have, there's gonna be no armor behind this buy. It's gonna be mostly just, actually they buy a lot of Deagles, a lot of upgraded pistols, 3 nades as well, so no armor invested, but there is a good amount of money here into this round for GODSENT. Trying to do a little bit more damage to the economy. Get Right goes back to buying the shotgun as well. But this time it's a much more concerted effort. GODSENT already has 3 people towards the B bomb site. Just Twist and one other teammate over towards A, just causing a small distraction before going back to meet up with their team. So this is gonna be more of an execute with only 1 smoke.
Yeah, going for the pre-fire spots as well, but not getting anything done just yet, Moses.
I imagine that those 3 nades are going to be for Chicken Coop. Try and clear anyone out of position. Last round it was Exist, he's there again. So those nades are going to try and be placed to just drop him from the map and then swarm into the bomb site. Yeah,
it's looking likely, isn't it? It's Lekro's going to line up the first one. It's raining nades for Exist. Can he get out of the way? They're landing left, right, and center. Down to 43. Nearly gets picked off on the cross back to the statue. Finally taken down from Lekro, who will bite the dust. And now Get Right with the jumping Max 7 shots. He gets picked off as well. Oh my goodness, GODSENT have actually gone a player ahead here. Schneider with 2 kills back to back. He's going to put so much pressure on Freiberg and Forrest around. You never thought they would even be close to losing. Freiberg is going to make the UMP. Pick up the kill for himself. Relocating back to the site, 35 seconds. Both the CTs are here. It's going to be rough now for GODSENT to get out onto the site, as the CT's actually hiding behind the concrete slabs. This is where the Deagles struggle a little bit, and there's Freiberg. As a charge comes in on Twist, very nearly gets it done. 4 weapons taken away, though, from the CTs.
Way too close for NIP. That one almost slips away from him, but 4 kills from GODSENT, that's huge. I talked about the investment that they made into that. It was very surprising in the 3rd round, that amount of money put in, but they make it worth it with those 4 kills. That forces so many rebuys out of NIP. And, I mean, you can see the consequences of it. They do have an AWP on Forrest. He's only got a smoke, but Get Right's still on the shotgun for the 3rd round in a row. Pyjamas on Freiburg as well. This could be a little bit difficult, and GODSENT, they're a little bit quicker in their pace of at least taking over towards A. NIP was very much slower on their T side, but GODSENT already part of the way up.
Even though GODSENT did commit a little bit into that previous round, you can see it hasn't really hampered their grenades whatsoever. Those kills they picked up went some way to replenishing their lost funds. And in this round, you definitely say they are in a favorable position in terms of weaponry and grenades. Can Forrest pick up any of these AWP shots? The bomb's actually over on the long side. GODSENT have a 3-2 split, 3 players on the A side. Here comes the molly. Nip playing very passive on A itself, though. Freiburg on stables. Forrest with the AWP watching the cross.
Yeah, smoke down and connector. That's going to make Forrest a little bit nervous because he was trying to peer in deep, and now he's going to get close up towards long A. There is presence here from GODSENT. Forrest and Freiburg want to find some information. They have no clue what's coming, so they want to search this out. And they're not going to see anything. GODSENT, just the timing of this is working out perfectly for him. All the meanwhile, this is going to be an execute. The end game is the B bomb site for GODSENT. NIP hasn't figured this out yet. They only have 3 members here. They haven't cheated anyone over quite yet. Just now, one member is starting to consider it, but still, they have to be worried about A because they have no intel anywhere. Smoke is out, and GODSENT can start creeping up towards B platform.
There's only 20 seconds left, though. If NIP can just get themselves a couple of kills, that pretty much cuts the head off this attack and pits the man to deliver. 1 kill comes down, Lecro drops right next to him. A 2-for-2 trade. Get Right lurking again with a Mag 7. The bomb's been planted. Get Right. He's going to wait for the rest of his team to get in close enough, but the shots are coming through onto the doors, and Palf is going to get the first in this confrontation. And Twist with the second. This would be absolutely brutal for NIP. It was looking so good for them. But it's down to the talisman of Get Right, but he's not going to get anything done this time. Max 7 not good enough. GODSENT will just about slither by.
The shotgun was the determining factor in that round. NIP trades pretty well as they enter the bomb site, but once it gets down to Get Right to make a play, that he's just too far away for that shotgun to be effective. You could see he wanted to push up onto the planter, but as soon as he turns the corner, he realizes there's a GODSENT member holding for just that kind of a play, and the shotgun is just not effective enough.
Oh, that buy, though.
Yeah, this is a rougher buy as well from NIP. 2 Pyjamas, the M4 is out. CZ and a P250, and look at Twist on the AWP. And GODSENT, they're going to be much faster paced. They're going to start pressuring right now. There's a first kill on to Get Right. They're out of drop. They're going to storm into this bomb site. Exist with the CZ has got to come up huge.
He really does. They line up for him. He will at least knock down 1 player. It's looking like he could have got a couple more. Pit on Statue. He's going to get himself a kill. Palf's going to go drop down to Forrest, but he then will find himself picked off from Twist. Freiburg on the rock with the A4. Flashbang to his name. Still healthy with Kevlar. He does have the ability to go God mode, does Freiburg, but this is such a rough ask with Twist with the AWP. Going to be locking it down with the overview. And Lecro, who's been consistently a beast so far for GODSENT. Freiburg just biding his time. There's still 55 seconds to play with. Faking out the bomb. Freiburg comes round and Lecro will land yet another headshot, 10-10.
Such a nice poise being shown by Lecro in that round. I mean, that's really nice, the fake plant, but also that just being patient, making sure the AWP could cover him at all times. It's really, really well played in a tough 2-on-1 situation. So NIP, we've seen how sketchy that last buy was. Now they're going to be forced onto a save. Can't really invest too much into this round. In fact, they invest absolutely nothing. No money spent. 5 USPs, no nades. So GODSENT going to get the lead back again. It's going to be 11-10, more than likely. We have seen crazier things.
We have, but 5 USPs, not looking good. I think it would be more of an epic fail from GODSENT than any Nip magic here if they were to lose this round, in all honesty.
We did see one of these rounds won just the other day on Inferno.
Yeah. 4-1 formation for NIP, stacking 4 players on the B side. Here's going to be a push through from Freiburg into danger. And he's going to hear noise to his left-hand side, but again, this is where the P250 or an upgraded pistol could come in huge. But without USP, realistically, what are you going to get done? You can see that Palf just gets tagged like a mosquito against the windshield.
Yeah, he's not worried about that whatsoever. Returns fire. Freiburg has to bail away from that fight. He's still the only one over at the A bomb site. He's at least done his job. Postured aggressively, and it's going to force GODSENT away from the A site. So this is exactly where the stack from NIP is. Now, it's still, despite having 4 members here, it's still very unlikely they're able to stop this onslaught. No armor, no nades. Exists, boost it up. He could find something. He gets the dink onto Schneider. There's a good start, but this is going to start spurring the rest of GODSENT further.
Yeah, this will give them the kick up the backside they needed to get onto the site with. Here comes the set play onto the site. Twist is going to land the first shot, and it should just be a complete cleanup now from GODSENT. As Nip dropping like flies. 20 seconds left. Forest at the back of the site trying to be a nuisance. There's only so much you can do with the USP from there, though, and GODSENT will retake the lead again.
Now it comes into the fact this could have to be a double save from NIP. They're going to be, there's still, it might just be a sketchy buy if they decide to go for it. So it could be a very much a struggle. GODSENT, anyhow they do. They have 4 M4s at least. They have a P90 on Get Right. He hasn't even used a rifle quite yet in this game. He's had all Mag 7s, pistols, and now the P90. This time though, GODSENT doesn't want to gain map control. They don't want to spread across the map. But once again, they're just going to march slowly, ever so slowly towards this B bomb site. It looks like a contact play. Schneider at the moment going for a pick. He's trying to find something, trying to spot out where anyone might be from NIP. Hasn't seen anything just yet, but here's the execution.
Charging through with the flashbangs as cover. Good hold so far from NIP, but now they're starting to fall. Make that a second player. Palf with the spray down. Here's Twist as well, looking so good for GODSENT. Freiburg now going to be charging through drop zone. The bomb is out just to his left-hand side, but the flashes, I'm not entirely sure if he would have seen that or not. There's 2 players very low on the site, actually. Pronax and Palf. Just over 10 HP apiece.
Yeah, this makes Twist position with the AWP so crucial. And there's Freiburg, sprays down 1. Palf is down. Twist still trying to man this, but he's completely blind. His teammate in the bomb site doesn't want to put the bomb down just yet. That's Pronax. He also has low HP still. You can see he's trying to creep around the edge of the smoke, trying to catch NIP off guard, and he almost does it, but Freiburg responds. NIP, it looked like this round was going to slip away from them. It looks like they were going to collapse under the pressure, but they brought it into a 2-on-1.
Still time to play with Twist. Not quite rushed to charge onto the site just yet. He's gonna have to land some miraculous shots though. There's the first one, switches to the AK. Actually, it's a P90. But close range, it is gonna be an absolute nightmare. Freiburg though, stands tall, lands the headshot, 11-11. Nothing to separate the 2 teams.
Yeah, it's really, really nice play from Freiburg. Aggressive play. Coming out of drop, running through the Molotov, blind, risking his life. He could have been peeked on at any point from someone from GODSENT, but he takes the risk and he actually gets into a really nice position where he can hold that down in a 1-on-2 and they're incredibly low. So NIP do outlast in that round. A big round to win as well, because their money, I mean, it's still not strong. It's been in such a rough spot. They haven't been able to build up any bank so far in this match.
That's the thing, even though they've won the round, they're still in such a precarious position right now.
Yes.
So I assume that we have a pause that's came in here. Maybe a chance for NIP to wrap their head around what they're going to do about this CT side.
This is a must-win round for them. AWP on Pit. We did see it on Forest earlier, but this time it's on the other hands of their secondary helper. Forest on the UMP, Get Right on the shotgun. So this is this late in the half as well, getting your economy reset. This would be a double save for NIP, and that would be a nightmare situation. Get Right. He's got to bail out. He's under a lot of pressure. He does have the shotgun. Oh, there's a TK, though. It evens things out in a 4-on-4.
And it's such a bad time to get a team kill as well, but Twist is going to make amends. Picks off the frag onto Get Right. Pit misses an opportunity, and that will be the last thing he does in this round. It's a 2-on-4. Make it a 4-on-1 now. Make it absolutely no one alive for Nip. A fast, efficient round for GODSENT. And just as you were saying, the nightmare could be real. It has came to fruition now for Nip.
I mean, that's just a great tactical call from Pronax, understanding the money situation of NIP, knowing they don't have a lot of nades, knowing they don't have the strongest weapons, things that can stop them from getting out B. So this is now 3 rounds in a row, or 3 rounds in very quick succession, where they pretty much just bullied their way towards that B bomb site.
Force buy as well for Nip here. Maybe as a result of what you said, going for the double eco is just effectively puts them at a 13-11 deficit, 14-11 potentially. So just bite the bullet here, see if you can get some crazy plays off. Well, you got to say GODSENT well and truly in the driver's seat right now, Moses. Looking very good for them.
Yeah, absolutely. This bait Force is going to have to come up with something. He's close up. His teammates are trying to distract for him. There's a pop flash. Twist is already bailed out though. Smart play from Twist. Feeling that pressure coming and just bailing out of the choke point. So now NIP's got to relocate out towards long. Schneider with this MAC-10 hasn't been able to find anything quite yet. Third player for NIP rotating over towards A. Forrest is going to get aggressive, though, and that's an awkward angle. He gets spotted out. Freiburg falls. There's the P250. Gets a nice dink. Does some damage, but it's also going to be get right down. GODSENT manages this so nicely. Huge advantage, and NIP, they can't win this round. It's going to be 13-11.
And as a result, is them having to go for an eco next round, probably just want to try and save these pistols, or at least get an exit frag. And that's not going to happen. Lekro is that. We'd already read the script. He's a couple of steps ahead of NIP. And now exists CZ. He's going to have to try and do some wonders. There's the first one. That's at least going to get him an AK in his hands, and well, he's off to save it. Yeah, well, they're on the hunt as well. They're looking for him right now. He also saw Exist pull off some ridiculous stuff as the only player with an assault rifle against VP yesterday on Cash.
Yes.
So he knows he has that in him. But again, Cobblestone not quite as easy to get those spree killings in effect. It is very difficult as a CT side. We've seen it a couple times play out in this matchup, how hard it is to gain intel as the CT team. Oh dear. Exist can't even get that kill. Pronax jumps up, finds the headshot. 13-11, and look at the money. Everyone on NIP hovering right around $2,000. NIP certainly backs against the wall. Train up next. They got a pretty convincing victory against VP yesterday on that. And here is the pause now for NIP. The interesting thing about it is this is Nip's pick, Cobble. Yep. And then Trade his GODSENT's pick, and they were willing to pick that. They were willing to let that through against Na'Vi earlier in this tournament. Didn't work out for him, obviously, but I mean, there's a certain amount of comfort you have to have on that map to even be willing to play Na'Vi on it. And again, this is why I was confused why this is the first time we've seen a team ban Cash against them, because Cash seems to have been their foundations in which they build that 1-0 lead off. And then from there on out, Nip can just get the momentum in there, coursing through their veins and just take it. So GODSENT really derailing them right off the bat. Yeah, this is, if NIP cannot come back and win this map, it's going to be very, very interesting. You could see the coach of GODSENT, a former Source player. And this crowd during the pause is doing everything it can to get NIP back into it, gaining a little bit of strength. It's going to be tough for NIP, though. One thing we really haven't seen, this has been such an economic match for GODSENT, because they have really prevented NIP from getting anything that they want on the CT side. Rarely seen the AWP, and when we have seen it, I think it was that one round with Pitt, and he gets Molotoved out of Chicken Coop, 2 Molotovs just to force him out of position. So that gun was effective on the defense for GODSENT, but NIP have not been able to utilize it in the same way, and they're getting punished at the moment. More than likely, I assume, out of this pause, this first round with about $2,000, NIP is just going to save, and they're going to let GODSENT get one more, and then they're just going to have to go on a big run here at the end when they have the rifles. Absolutely, I'm sure that's what's going through their minds right now. It's been very rough for NIP though on their CT side. I mean, you called about this before. Get Right really hasn't had a rifle in his hands. He's had Mag 7s, he's had the P90, pistols. They haven't had that many grenades supporting the rifles either, so it's been a very rough half for them so far. And this goes back to what we were talking about before. We've seen them have sublime T halves, but it's been the CT side when they seem to falter a little bit. But we are live again, ladies and gents, and as you called before, Moses, it is pretty much going to be a full-on eco, apart from an incendiary in the hands of Freiburg. Exist tries to get away with a kill here. It's not going to work out. The nade doesn't do too much damage, but it does force the pressure back. GODSENT, they don't have to commit to anything just yet, but a delayed boost. Exist finds the kill onto Schneider. That's huge. And an AK. So they have managed to take that for themselves. No one with Kevlar, so still aim punch is a very real issue to contend with, but this does give them a little bit of a power play now. Freiburg still has his incendiary, but Exist has been picked off. So there's the AK dropping down onto the ground in the middle of nowhere. Forrest is going to be getting himself. No, he doesn't get the kill onto Twist. He lands the headshot, knocks him down to such low health, but can't get the job done. And that could have been a massive moment for NIP in this round. Yeah, that's so painful to see, Forrest. It's one of the ones you just have to shake your head at. You can't let it get to you. Freiburg now has the AK-47. And with Twist at very low HP, they could make something happen. If they could get a couple really nice kills early and clean him up later on, that would be a big find for NIP. Pronax with the spray down pit. Couldn't do too much from that one, but here comes the AK now for Freiburg. Seems like he may have guessed correctly that B is the site of choice for GODSENT, but What can he do about that? 24 seconds. There isn't that much time to play with from GODSENT. They're going to have to start to get a move on here. And still, that grenade in his hands.
The real issue is even if he has some kind of magic here, there's one player flanking himself. He gets the first kill, but there it is, Lekro with the trade. Saying his name a lot this game.
Oh yeah.
He's doing very, very well, and GODSENT with a big lead, a surprising lead. And here it is, this is the buy. This is the buy that the pause was for. This is the entire essential first map comes down to this one buy. If NIP cannot win this one, they cannot start a comeback here at the end. And they may just fall by the wayside. It's 5 M4s for NIP. No kits, running very low on utility as well.
Finally, they'll get right does have a rifle. So a silver lining maybe for NIP, but yeah, as you say, this is a bargain bucket buy-up from NIP. And a lot rests on this round. And a lot of people, myself included to be completely honest, thought GODSENT were the heavy underdogs coming into this game. But they have been performing very well indeed, exceptionally well. 4 players on the B side for NIP right now, a couple of which are on drop zone, can easily rotate back to A if needs be. And when you have such a distinct lack of utility, you almost have to play for the information. It's very hard to hold off on these sides. Looking for the early frag, Schneider's gonna be pushing through towards the window. He has Freiburg just below it. Will put him 6 foot under. Good start for NIP. One of the first times we've seen him get the opening pick, and the second as well. This time Forrest will convert onto Twist, but look, he's really caught in a precarious position. He's gonna have to come out fighting, and fighting he will. He doesn't get the kill, but he drops Pauf extremely low. It's looking good for GODSENT after Lekro lands the headshot though. That being said, he's also been dropped low. Surely NIP can convert this round now.
All they really have to do is bait for Freiburg. There's Exist with a kill. He cleans up Lekro, and actually this isn't going to be cleared out whatsoever. Freiburg with 1. Pronax falls. Pauf with 6 HP and a 1-on-3. This is what NIP needed. A 12th round for them, 12-14. And with 3 members alive, they can at least start to build up some money. They can drop some, they're going to have to drop some guns over, but they'll have a little bit of nades to utilize moving forward.
This gives them a glimmer of hope at least, some light at the end of the tunnel. They are going to have a solid buy up this round, but GODSENT, of course, who've been on a tear, have themselves an AWP in the hands of Twist. The rest of the players filling out with AK, so there's no respite for NIP. Boost up onto tree. Again, a similar formation to what we saw in the previous round, round 26.
Threats read this, though. You could see 4 members of NIP are here towards the B bomb site, 2 towards drop. The success of GODSENT in the later stage of this half has been just all 5 walking behind these smokes over towards B and eventually punishing their way into the B bomb site, so NIP is prepared for this perfectly.
They certainly are, but here comes the flash, here comes the charge. Freiburg says, screw this noise, I'm just going to be backing away, get right with the first kill. Freiburg tries to spray down, but somehow Pronex will best him. And that gives up the drop zone control now and allows the terrorists to start to filter their way out into connector, but the frags are going NIP's way for now. On a 2-on-3, Exist did get a lot of damage down onto Schneider, looking to try and finish him off as he pushes right through the smoke, and it's the perfect timing, and NIP have made it 1 round closer to taking us to a quality 14-13.
Yeah, and this defense looks renewed. These past 2 rounds from NIP have been very, very good. They hold it off so nicely. Exist just getting this 1 kill, getting re-aggressive, hearing the spam and just timing it perfectly. Schneider, no bullets left. They were out drop and they had control of connector, but there was nowhere to go for GODSENT after that. And it's just Deagles for the GODSENT side, and NIP have a good chance here with their tendency, with their strength on these anti-ecos to get up towards 14-14 and tie this up.
But as you said, Moses, it's Deagles. And when you have them 1-taps.
And it's Lekro and it's Twist.
Yeah. NIP certainly should still convert this round, but when you see those Deagles, you're never quite sure. The downside for GODSENT, though, is they have no grenades to back up the Deagles, so it's going to have to be raw entries.
NIP's never been able to get a hold of their economy since essentially the 3rd round. The anti-eco in the 3rd round came down to 1 member, and then GODSENT just has always been punishing with the fact that it's been light on nades, been light on AWPs, whatever it might be, lighter guns as well. If NIP can finally stabilize here, not take too many losses and go into the next round with a full buy of all their utility, that's going to be a defense that GODSENT hasn't gone up against. They haven't had to see it quite yet. So if NIP has all their options available to them on the CT side, this could shock GODSENT right at the end of this map.
Looking for the opening pick is Lekro, taking point for his team. Player chicken coop, 1 on the boost again on tree. That's Exist this time. Freiburg elsewhere on the map is going to do the damage on mid. Bomb is there. Lecro is trying to play interference, trying to bait out NIP. It's not working though. Freiburg's hungry for another kill. He's going to land it. And more importantly for NIP is not only will they win this round more than likely, but keeping all those weapons alive does wonders for their economy. Or have I spoke too soon? As Powerful can land at least one frag, but that's it. 14-14.
A good stretch of rounds for NIP. 3 straight ties things up. And NIP has everything they could want into this round. This is just Freiburg from range. Nice fight to take here, staying committed. And look at it, now it's a little bit better for NIP. 5 Molotovs, 5 smokes, 5 kits, everything except for the AWP, which Twist has on the other side of the map. But GODSENT has been shut out of 3 rounds straight, and this next win gets any team who wins it up to map point.
Such a close, tense matchup this has been. It looked like GODSENT were going to run away with it on the first half. NIP brought it back to an 8-7 halftime scoreline. And it's just been blow for blow in the center of the ring. Both teams exchanging punches left, right, and center. But here we go. Another slow round for GODSENT. 3 players up on long A, 4 players actually. It's going to try and filter their way through and see if they can get that entry. But NIP have completely given up long there. Happier to play passive on the A side.
Yeah, and NIP's actually out of smokes already. They've used all 5. You can see GODSENT with 4 members over towards long A. They're going to set up for an execute. Molotov out to prevent that peek from Force. You can see he wanted to get close to do it. Freiburg's going to hold the angle. There's the rings true. Force turn. He cannot fall here. He gets 1. There's another. He's got a challenge. He's got to fight his way out, and he wins it. 2 kills for Force. They're going to continue to challenge, though. He's completely blind.
He still has 73 HP, though, but he will be picked off from Pronax. 3 on 3. Information was gathered, though, from NIP. They know at least 2 players are over on the long side. But have they over-rotated?
It's so interesting, with 4 members towards long A, it looked like GODSENT was setting up a fake because the bomb was still down in the middle of the map to go towards the B bomb site, and it's wide open. Schneider's gonna find it empty, and actually, Pitt gets punished. He's not aware that's a possibility. So GODSENT a big advantage here at 3 on 2. There is still time for NIP to get over, but Schneider is gonna be a thorn. He's gonna try and stop these rotations. He's gonna be in such a difficult spot. Exists! That's a huge kill!
There's only 10 seconds left. Can they stop the plant from going down? It's all on Exist now, going to be throwing them incendiary over towards the site. That forces the player out into the open. Exist the first one. He's going to be getting the second. Exist clutches it. 15-14, Nip will go. What a time to step up.
He's been doing it time and time again. All the stars of NIP coming up huge when they need it, but no bigger than that round. Schneider puts his team in a perfect spot, but you just can't help for the savvy of Exist here. That is such an important kill. That's the bomb. It delays a little bit longer. This kill, he's isolated a 1-on-1, and then he's prepared for this swing from Schneider. So 15-14 for NIP, and now it's GODSENT who's light on nades. They're the ones with their backs against the wall. Finally, after this whole map, NIP has brought it down to just 1 round.
What a play from Exist. As you said, just to have that clarity of mind to stand tall in the doors, stop the bomb from going down in the first place. GODSENT will have AKs. It's not like they're completely flat out broke. That has to have hurt them. Can NIP come back and take map number 1 after having a number of alarming moments? Exist throws over the flashbang. You can see again that GODSENT are looking for that opening pickup on the platform. So far, so good for NIP. Exist tries to spray. Does actually do quite a bit of damage while flashbanged, and will finish off the player up there. Pitt's gonna come in as well. Looking so good for NIP. The bomb's dropped. It's all on Schneider. This is gonna take one of the plays of the tournament if he pulls this off.
This would be one of the plays of the year, a 1-on-5. It looks like NIP has survived this first map scare. And the crowd knows it. Schneider, 45 seconds left to make his move.
The bomb is on the site as well. Everything going against Schneider from this point. 40 seconds. The positions from NIP, impenetrable defense, and there we go. Freiburg will put the last nail in the coffin on Cobblestone. NIP somehow bounced back to take it 16-14.
Exist steps up so massively in that game. GODSENT has such a big lead. They have such big advantages throughout certain stretches of that match, and you can just see it's the experience that finally wins out for NIP. Knowing how to close that, knowing how to stay poised. knowing how to stay strong, and they finally turn it back in their favor.
We've got to say, though, GODSENT, they deserve a lot of props there for taking NIP right to the limit.
The question was, how are these younger players going to perform on the stage? And GODSENT looked fantastic. NIP had to earn that win.
I'd seen that a lot of people coming into this tournament wouldn't have fancied to get out of groups, wouldn't have fancied to get into the playoffs. They're here in the semi-finals and taking NIP right to the home stretch. On another day, this would be 1-0 GODSENT easily.
I mean, it's just so incredible that it comes down to the wire and we see all the stars, all the big players of NIP step up at a certain point. And they managed to come back and overtake GODSENT in that first map. That was stunning. But that was map 1. It's NIP up 1 map. And we are going to take a quick break before coming back for Train. That's going to be map 2, so stay tuned and we'll be back shortly.